Hey, hello. Welcome. So today I decided to open a new project because I kind of got bored of the other project, the Power World one. So I think that I'm gonna start something different. This time I think I want to build an application, right? That that has something to do with sleep, since some people just don't really sleep well all the time. So it's gonna be like a gamified sleeping application. At least that's my idea. Not sure if this is visible right now. Okay. So sleeping app, right? Thinking of making it on a sort of mobile platform. At least that's the idea. So yeah, that today what I'm gonna do is probably just gonna be mapping out like the idea of this application. So probably not much coding, just more of a thought process. So, what do I want to be this about? It's gonna be like a gamified. Here's my idea, right? Just some broad topics, broad features. Right? It's gonna be like gamified, gamified. So like it can be like a game. So you earn points for something for sleeping well, or something like that. It's a way where you get satisfaction for just sleeping. And I think the way I would do this is okay. Let's not talk about like specifically how it will be implemented, since I do think I have some ways to do this. But anyway, let's talk more about the features, right? So that's the thing, right? I don't really know what else would be in this gamified application. So what do I want this theme to be about? Like obviously it's gonna be about sleep, right? But I want to be more than just sleep, right? So there are various different ways. There's like cats. I think cat is something that's popular with people, but it's already been overdone, I feel like. So maybe cat theme isn't the best. Let's explore our options, right? We can also do like monsters. That's also good. Let's see here. So there is an application like called Forest, which it's sort of where I'm getting my ideas from. So this application, it's like a gamified version that allows you to stay focused. And basically, you just grow like a forest. You can grow some plants, trees, or whatever, and it works by you have to stay on this application. And if you don't stay on it, right? If you for some reason get out of the application, it'll kill whatever you were growing. So that's the incentives for you to sleep or for you to stay focused on your task, so you don't touch your phone. So there's no distraction. And I kind of want a similar idea, but with sleep, right? And I don't want to use forest, because that's kind of. And I was also looking at something like CryptoKitties, and I thought that was pretty cool too. It's not really like helpful. It's just it looks cute. So it could do something similar. Like the idea is there, just a bunch of cats. You breed them, and you get more cats. In a way, it's sort of gamified, but it's not really. It's like trading with Ethereum, but that's a bit far fetched for me. So not, I don't think that's gonna be what I want it to go in the direction of. But it is the right direction, just a little bit too deep in a different way. So what other ideas are there? Right. So and want something that can grow. That's something that you can see progression in, and that's rewarding and satisfying. Something that's maybe broad, or it could be not broad. It could be niche. It doesn't have to be broad. So, not really sure to be honest. There's other possibilities. You can do like fishes. I feel like fishes are a thing. So like fish games. Tiny fish. Maybe there's something like that. You can catch fishes and they'll breed or something. But I don't know. Fishing doesn't sound all that appealing. Not really wide either. I mean, it's cool. Certainly is cool. But I want something more broad. Something that I would probably feel more enticed to make. And this doesn't really look all that enticing. I need a better gaming theme, right? Could do dogs as well, but that's really just similar to the cats. So maybe not. What about animal high? Nah, sounds like a stupid idea. No mind. I mean, I was thinking like a zoo or something, but not really sure about that. Hmm, it's not really a lot of good ideas out there. We could do cat, but I feel like cat is the most appealing idea, but it's just so overdone. But I need something that's like universally well liked. Hamsters, squirrels, maybe like food, cooking, dinosaurs, maybe aliens. Nah, there's a lot of different variations. I think monster wants to do, or we can collect people. You know, like different race of people, like fantasy sort of thing. I feel like that'd be pretty cool too. I think we should go more with the fantasy route. Fantasy. But there's that's still pretty broad, right? I think what we want to do is be able to I don't know what kind of collection we want though. Because I feel like my idea here is like when you sleep, right? When you sleep for a good amount, the longer you sleep, or the more sleep, the closer you are to your sleep target. Or if you do complete your sleep target, you'll get a reward. And what we need this reward to be is something like sort of collectible award, right? Like an achievement, but achievement is kind of bland. We want to be able to collect maybe monsters or maybe eggs or something, but there's a lot of different options. I'm still trying to think. Want to get this ready for the direction. What is the best? Maybe it doesn't have to be the best. It just needs to be something that I would want to do, something that I'm interested in. And the audience is decently large enough. or yeah, I'm thinking of just being able to collect people, a people collecting game. And that sounds pretty dumb to be honest. Um, but it does sound kind of dumb. Because how would you get rewarded from that? That doesn't really make sense all that much. I feel like monster catching is more approved. Yeah, I think we can just do monster collection. Okay, I think I got it. Monster collection is our theme. So the idea here, right? Okay, so monster collection. I think that's our theme. Sounds the best because you can have many various types of things you want to collect. So let's talk about the reward system, how broadly how this could work. All right. So what can we have for rewards? Thinking is you sleep, right? And if you sleep, if you hit your sleep target, so hit sleep target, which should always be around 8 hours, depending on your age. But 8 hours is generally what we call a good amount of sleep. But and also we want to be able to hit sleep schedule too. But broadly, if you hit the sleep target without touching your phone, right? Touching phone, well, without opening any other apps, without opening. I don't think you can track that. Don't think so. That'll be like sort of not isolated if you can calculate that, but more like if you if this application is in the background or something, whatever. Just let's not talk about implementation. Let's just talk about sleep. If you hit sleep target without um doing stuff on your phone, I don't know how you word that, but without picking up your phone, without doing things on your phone, without opening other applications. Okay, opening other, without navigating to other applications, without navigating away from application. There we go. Hit sleep target without navigating away from the application. Then you get rewarded with um some monster, right? I think that's how you're gonna do that. But there needs to be a way to make this make sense, right? So what I'm thinking of is you go to um like environments, different by regions or something, different environments. So here's how the gameplay is gonna work, right? You set a timer or schedule, right? And while it's active, right? While the you're in the timer. Why are you sleeping? While sleep, you are. Let's say that you are in some sort of environment. You are in an environment. It could be like a forest, right, or a cave, and you start. I guess you can say you catch different monsters. You catch monsters. And basically, you're just catching monsters in your sleep. you collect monsters. I think that sounds better. Environment, you collect monsters. And based on different criterias, you get certain type of monsters. It's gonna be completely RNG. And I think I'm gonna use AI to generate the pictures or you know the images for these monsters. And probably the environment too. Could be. But basically while you sleep, you're in an environment and you collect monsters. And if you touch your target, or I mean if you start using your phone, start using phone while asleep, you'll lose all your progress. You'll, let's see, lose, I don't know, could get robbed or something. You'll get robbed and lose progress. So that's the way, that's like the penalty. But that's the penalty system. So let's just saw this overall gameplay. High level gameplay. So you sleep, right? You set a schedule, set a timer, and while you are asleep, you're in an environment and you collect monsters. But if you start using your phone while you sleep, you'll get robbed and then you lose your progress. Or some random event will happen. It doesn't have to be robbed. So some random event happens and you lose progress. Some other features in the game that I'm thinking of is breeding, because since that is pretty common in these type of games. So breeding and egg hatching, those are the other types of sleeping activities you can do, right? So here's are the activities you can do while you're sleeping. I think that we're gonna need a another one for that. Sleep activities. Activities while sleeping. So instead of just doing this, right? Instead of saying you're in an environment you collect monsters, what we're gonna say is you do activities and gain uh monster related reward, which could be whatever. There you go. So here's some activities that we the activities I was just talking about. The one where you're in an environment and you go catch monsters. That's gonna be like the basic. I feel like. And placed into environment and collect monsters. Also, we're going to put breeding monsters. I feel like that should be passive, right? But we just put that in there. Other activities you can do could be maybe like you want to use your monsters to do something. So like fighting bosses while you're asleep, fighting bosses or monsters, and you can catch those. So I guess that should work. That should work. So I think those are our main criterias for now. Don't want to do anything too much and do something major. Gamified features, monster collection where you sleep. You can create a schedule. Yeah, I think this is what we want. This is kind of high level overview. So I think with just these ideas, we can pretty much make what we want. But how do I even start making this? That's the question. So let's talk about, I think we should talk about a little bit more about implementation, right? So what I'm thinking of is we use React Native to build application. But yeah, so it's mainly going to be like backend that's going to be the problem. Or not really problem, more like it's going to be all the logic. But we can also just work without backend, can we? Nah, that sounds pretty dumb. But yeah, we definitely want a backend, which don't really know how that's going to work. Not sure if I even need a backend, right? Couldn't I create the entire logic in JavaScript or Node.js and pretty much have zero backend? That sounds like a terrible idea because I don't need like a whole server. It's gonna be all local. So this can get rid of the backend idea. And we just need to create the full logic. Yeah, I think that's probably our case, right? We have a like a model view controller sort of vibe. Yeah, I think that's gonna be our goal. So let's actually create the system, right? But we need more like concrete way of this system, right? Because this is really, really vague, and I don't have any clear goals right here. So let me start creating more more deeper level details. Okay, so let's talk about sleep. So do we want a timer system or a scheduled system? Oh, we could do both, right? But we want to start simple. So we can probably start with like a timer system. But if you hit a goal for a schedule, so let's talk about the timer system, right? What we can do is you can set a countdown timer. So it can also act as an alarm, right? I think that'd be a cool feature to have, or more like a necessary feature. Set countdown timer, act as an alarm, and that will trigger. And once you achieve your countdown, it will trigger your activities, your whatever reward you get. So that's the so when uh countdown when 0 is reached, reward. Yeah, reward. Now this is kind of unorganized. Usually you use something like user stories, but I don't know. User stories just doesn't sit right with me. Because if you're working alone, if you're working with other people, that would probably be useful. But if you're working by yourself, I guess it's not all that necessary to expend all that effort for a story. Well, I just want something simple. So what's next? About let's create more. Okay. So schedule system. So how's this gonna work? Let's say we a schedule, right? So end date, start date, or end time, starts time, and make it recurring, all that stuff. And in a way, it's kind of the same thing as the countdown timer. Act as an alarm, and when zero is reached, you get a reward. So in a way, they are really the exact same thing. Now think about it. So there's not too much logic going on over here, so we're just gonna set that aside. So let's talk about this. So when you talk about attributes a monster can have, and environment a environment can have, right? Attributes the environment can have. I think that's and also probably want a combat system. So it's not gonna be super complicated or anything like that. All right, so let me think here. Okay, so let's talk about monster attributes, right? What can they have? Like, why would they be appealing? They're gonna have an image attached to them. They're gonna have a name, and they're probably also gonna have certain stats. And some stats that probably could be appealing would be some normal stuff. Well, actually, we don't want it to be super complicated system. We want it to be as simple as it can be. So sleep features. Something that makes monsters desirable. Something like rarity, right? So let me get rid of this. Stats we probably still want, but rarity. That's what makes you want to get some things, right? Definitely want rarity. But rarity isn't enough to make people want things. Usually you want numbers, right? Because, that's definitely something that you want. We want type, monster types. Could be a whole different set of array. We also have stats, which I'm still thinking about. We could do the generic, system. Have hit points, attack, defense, that type of stuff. But I feel like just having monsters being there isn't the most helpful thing is there. Maybe we should have a crafting system too. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Because just having monsters by itself isn't the most appealing idea, right? You might also want a shop system too. So like you can, instead of going there yourself, you can send monsters to do things for you while you're asleep. Send monsters to environments that will collect things for you, fight for you, do other things. So leveling system. I think leveling will be also cool. Leveling will be a great idea. So that could be part of a stat, right? Level. So the higher level you are, the more better you are, right? So let's see. So I think what we want to do is we want to be able to send monsters into environments and have them do work for you, just like in Power World. We could have. It's kind of confusing. See, what would these stats even mean to me, right? Because I don't want any manual fighting in this game. I want it to be completely automatic, only while you're asleep. Could give them move sets too, but that could also add a lot of complexity, which we don't really want all that much. Don't want too much complexity. I think I need some ideas, right? Want to see how they deal with this, because even I don't know how they do it. I don't actually have this application, which is makes it hard to test. I no way they have Sleep Town. Oh, they already have one that exists for sleeping too. Think about it, but we're gonna make our own. So this one's Sleep Town. I'll just do sleep. This is gonna be what I'm picking back off of, right? Well, this is actually really cool. So I think we want it to be constructive, building. So I think having a base will definitely make it pretty good. Make it a worthwhile, reward system. Because yeah, this is really cool. Building a town. Oh, you know what? I think I have an idea. So similarly to this, right? We can have a system where You start on a grid, like a one block grid, and then so it could be something like you start on a grid, like a block. So here's my gameplay system, right? Start on a block. And in this block, you have some sort of monster. You can start off with a monster. Maybe you can like a Pokemon game. You can start your monster. Then you can send your monster to different directions and discover new blocks. So another new block will be found. So we wanted to go north direction, right? Let's just make this purple for just indicate starting location. Or yeah. And so you find go to a new location, new monsters will appear, but all you're gonna be is you're gonna be standing here and you're gonna send your monsters to different blocks and explore it. So this can be progression for a block. I think that's how it's gonna work. That's our gameplay. And as you go into different environments, you can collect. Well, you can, yeah, you can collect resources. There's different tasks you can do, right? Collect resources. Well, probably leveling resources, right? Material to, level up your monsters or something, or make your monsters improve your monsters. Collect resources. You can have it fight other monsters, or can also, hmm, yeah. So collecting resource makes sense, but we want to start off by exploration and conquering. I think that's our main goal. We want to conquer this zone and expand. So you can go to different directions, conquer the zones, make it your own. And each of these zones probably have capacities to hold a different amount of pals, or not pals, monsters, which we don't know what we call them yet. They can hold a certain amount of monsters. And you can only place these monsters, store your monsters in these blocks. Think that's how our progression will go. But how will we do this, right? So I think that we can expand our monsters. We can oh, I don't know, because we need a way to affect our progression system. Like how fast can a block be conquered, right? That what kind of stats will affect that, and what kind of typing and all that other stuff. And that's really my question. See, this is getting very, very complicated real fast. We could just use purely off of level and rarity and stuff like that. I think that could work. Again, we don't want super complex. So based off of level and rarity, but we still want lower level and rarity monsters to be useful. We don't want only high level monsters to be in use, because that would be kind of boring. We can say the more level you have, the more monster you have, then you can conquer more blocks per reached per round, I guess. I think that could be what we want. And we can also collect resources that will improve your power on monsters. But what kind of improvement would you want, right? So obviously level and rarity. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have conquer speeds. Let's do that. Conquer. Conquering speed, which I mean, these names are definitely gonna be subject to change, but conquering speed, right? We want to be able to influence conquering speed. Then we also want to influence collection, resource gathering speed. And I'm thinking of other stuff like mines. So other activity could be like resource gathering speed is kind of vague. Let's do this. Let's say conquer speed. We want exploration speed. You can explore. We can conquer speed. We want resource, some sort of resource gathering. Speed. Something that will affect those stats that will affect those type of things. Because what do the gameplay is you start off in a block, then you move to other block, then you explore your current block, or you explore to find new blocks, right? New zones. And then you can also use a conqueror to conquer those blocks that you find that's new. And then once you conquer those blocks, you can gather resources from those blocks. But those blocks can, okay, yeah, I think that's where that works. But only certain type of monsters can be placed there to gather resources for those blocks. Okay, I think we made some good progress here. We'll finish up our idea later, but I think we have a good head start in our idea. All right, so we're gonna finish this up next time. Think more about what we want to do, and yeah. All right, have a good one, guys.